This is a movie review for the movie Conviction, and it's a true story of a man named Kenny Waters, who in 1980 in Massachusetts was questioned in the murder of a neighbor woman and was cleared because he had a solid alibi and there was no evidence at all to connect him to the crime. Then 2.5 years later, Kenny is arrested in the murder after police say that they've obtained statements from two women claiming that he had confessed to the murder. So he was convicted in 1983 of a murder that he said he did not commit, and he tells his sister that he cannot and will not survive prison. His sister, Betty Ann Waters, makes a promise to him that if he will just sit still and be patient and trust her, that she will find a way to get him out of jail. Basically, she'll find a way to prove his innocence. So what she proceeds to do for the next 16 years is she first obtains her GED, she gets a college degree, and a law degree. And after 16 years, she becomes a lawyer. During this time, she becomes aware of blood testing DNA samples, which are proving some innocent that are already sitting in jail with a guilty charge. So she begins to investigate the case of her brother and to get the evidence that was used in the case against him. She finds out that the evidence was destroyed in 1983 according to what a computer is telling that has been done. She makes call after call after call asking people to please check to verify that for sure the evidence has been destroyed, and they tell her they have checked and that yes, it has. She didn't stop there. She shows up at the facility and talks directly to the woman who has told her that she's checked the information, and asks the woman would she please go physically check to see if the evidence is in fact not there as the computer is saying. After much convincing, the woman goes and checks and later returns with the whole box of evidence. So in fact, the computer was not correct, and all the evidence in Kenny's case was still available. She proceeds to have the evidence tested with DNA samples, which takes months to be provided for her because of just a holdup within the system. There is many secrets to this case, in that the whole case began around Kenny and his conviction with regards to money, with regards to someone convincing someone else to say something about someone in order to further someone else's career in order for them to make more money. So this case really just came down to the case of money. Finally, the case is pushed to the point that it has no choice but to provide Betty Ann with the evidence, and her brother is in fact found not guilty. So Kenny is released from prison after 18 years, 5 months, and 3 days in prison. He became the 83rd person whose conviction was overturned because of DNA evidence. And since this, in 2001, there have been 259 cases that has been exonerated. Now, many will watch this movie and they will see it as quite the love story, or how one person becomes the hero to another person, and I don't see it this way at all. What I see this as is a woman who saw the inequality and the lack of support for human life within a system, and she stood up against it, and she did whatever it took. She pushed herself within her own self-honesty to be able to stand up and support an individual who required support. I see that there's a lot here as an example of what each and every one of us are capable of within standing up in support of an equal money system. Because again, this case was all about money. Our whole system is been designed and exists based upon money. Our current money system is allowing abuse. It is allowing starvation. It is allowing death and destruction. And it is not, there's no common sense as to why it has continued to be allowed, except that we walk around and we accept it and we allow it. There was a time in my own life when I assumed that everyone that went to jail for a crime was guilty. And all that really is me existing within my mind of an idea that was placed there, and I believed and I accepted a long, long time ago. What I heard or read or was taught years ago no longer stands as factual evidence according to what this world is existing within and as, and what we're accepting and allowing. It no longer stands as valid. So this movie for me was an example of what can and will be eventually done by every single one of us who make a decision within self-honesty to stand up in support of an equal money system that provides for all living life, all beings, whether you're human, plant, animal, insect, whatever. If you're breathing, if you exist here, you have the right to live a life in dignity. Whatever it takes to stand up and support all life, it shouldn't matter. It should actually only take the realization within ourselves that it has to be done. That there are people starving right now that don't really have 16 years to wait on us to decide to have a look, because often we won't even have a look at the current system because we just assume that everybody's being provided for, and that is just merely being stuck within a mindset that is just, there's no facts within it. So stand up and support an equal money system. Visit www.equalmoney.org.